Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about something, well, another shit that is entirely retarded. From bounding to comics. Competitive Scrabble players accuse Mattel of virtual signaling after company bans 400 offensive terms from officially acceptable world list. Well, what else is new? You're living in a world where censorship is definitely the most common thing. Remember back in the days of the 80s and 90s, all you had old Christian ladies or those imbecilic bitches were all the rage in trying to cancel your favorite rock music, well, record or CD. Back in those days, they had to actually put warnings, advisory, there's satanic images and things like that, and canceling games and all this stuff. Who knew that for them to achieve their wet dreams on their old little dusty old cunts was all about calling it social justice and calling it anti-racismus. All they had to do was do that, and then suddenly Jesus would be saved from, well, think of the children. See, remember that old joke from The Simpsons that I don't even know if it is still up? Think of the children! Whee! Well, here we have it, folks. It's pretty much the same thing. Now, let's go and read the news. Mattel recent ban on over 400 offensive terms from Scrabble's list of acceptable word choices has prompted a number of the game's competitive English players to take issue with the toy manufacturer, accusing the recent ban of being nothing more than an attempt at corporate virtual signaling. The new ban targets various derogatory slurs used against a wide berth of demographics, ranging from individuals with black or white skin to those with disabilities. So you're telling me that I cannot use the word retard on the board anymore? Well, that's a type of cuntish behavior. While a full list of the ban words has yet to be publicly outlined by Mattel, various slurs have been confirmed as no longer acceptable for use by the game's official online dictionary. According to Mattel Global Head of Games Ray Adler, the removal of the term was a political act done in response to the social unrests that's going on globally. We looked at everything we were doing as a company and opportunities to be more culturally relevant, he told the UK news outlet The Times. I have heard the argument that these are just words, but we believe they have meaning. Well, imagine being triggered by words. Right? Though political, Mattel's goal was not altruistic, as Adler further noted that the change was also being made in an attempt to get the next generation of Scrabble fans. Are you trying to get the next generation of Scrabble fans by pandering to the demographic who doesn't like this type of stuff? Well, why don't you just pander to that demographic of Nicki Minaj? Why don't you make a Scrabble board with Nicki Minaj crap? That's probably sell to the retarded barbs or something like that, but nah. You're not going to get anything more out of it. Then again, this guy is retarded. Let's go on. We need to modernize it. Are you sure that's exactly what you want to do? Concluded, can you imagine any other game where you can score points and win by using a ratio epithet? It's long overdue. Yeah, I can actually think of a few. If you go into an online match where you don't actually have to worry about censorship, you can say the N-word and a bunch of other things. Get the other guy triggered on the other team or something like that, where they will be prone to make mistakes. And then you pound them. Mattel's attempt at inclusivity has not received as warm of a reception as they hoped, as the three members of the World English Language Scrabble Players Association, wespa, hey, a nice name, the organization responsible for providing an official structure for the international Scrabble community, have resigned in protest over the company's new ban. Well, nice. At least you're actually doing something more than a lot of other people would have done. One such member, British author Darrell Francis, asserted that he had resigned because words listed in dictionaries and Scrabble lists are not slurs. They only become slurs when used with a derogatory purpose or intent. Exactly. And when you're actually combating on a multiplayer, when you're trying to pound fucking people, they don't become derogatory. They are used to make the other person offended and for them to cause a mistake. Anyway, where was I? I used a particular tone or particular context, explained Francis. Exactly! Didn't I just explain how the context is that you don't actually get offended when you, or causing offense, just because you're trying to make the other guy make a mistake? Anyway, let's go. Helped oversee the creation of the official Scrabble word list since 1980s. Word in unfamiliar Scrabble word lists should not be removed because of PR purposes disguised as promoting some kind of social betterment. The three members who resigned were not only members of wespa to express dissatisfaction with Mattel's new ruling. In February, the organization voted a motion to end the partnership with Mattel, which in turn would have allowed players to continue using the banned words in the competition while also preventing the organization from using the trademark term Scrabble in their name. Though the motion to sever ties with Mattel failed, it revealed a deep divide amongst the organization members, as 172 members voted to continue their partnership with companies while 156 voted against it. Yes, that's quite divisive. Notably, as reported by The Times, no Scrabble association located within Africa voted to accept Mattel's list of banned words. Holy shit! Not even in Africa. The failure of this motion, according to Scrabble Grandmaster David Webb, was due to a feeling held amongst members that Mattel basically pointed a gun at our head, in effect saying, accept expurgation or we will withdraw the license and stop you from using the name Scrabble. Pointed to the aforementioned rejection of Mattel's ban list by African Scrabble Association, Webb noted that Mattel are not responsible for any demands there you go. I held a sneeze. Yes, it's quite dusty as of late, and my SJW respiratory system has decided to not play nice and start to riot like a good BLM member it is. The only sad thing is that my respiratory tract system cannot loot a TV every time some part of the 13% 1350 demographic doesn't get killed. It can't go out. At least I have that control. My respiratory tract system can go out and loot stuff and get a new TV. Anyway, pointing out the Mattel are not responsible to any demands or conflict from within the Scrabble world, which is international, inclusive, and friendly, and therefore its actions are seen by many as virtual signaling, making a token gesture, or woke. Absolutely agree. Imposing American values on the world is pretty obnoxious, and forcing its licensees like wespa to agree to expurgation and lose their license is bullying. I agree. As a good friend of mine once put it, when they trying to force Latinx on Latinos, they are actually using some sort of colonialist, where was it? Colonialist, what was the word? Colonialism belief on type of people. I don't know. I forgot. But either way, it triggers them to no end. Ooh, calling them colonialist supremacists. Oopsie-daisy. They get really triggered. Trust me. Do try it. It's absolutely hilarious. This move by Mattel was inspired by a similar one made by Hasbro, Scrabble's North American rights holder, last year. In June 2020, after the company's advisory board was prompted to do so by North American Scrabble Players Association CEO John Chu, Hasbro removed over 200 derogatory terms regarding various traits such as race, gender, sexuality from the game's lexicon in order to make Scrabble a more inclusive and enjoyable experience for players. I wonder if one of those words include cracker. Or white dude. or something like that. But either way, this is absolutely retarded. I mean, if the word exists, you should be allowed to use it. Huh. There's no difficulty or something like that, but either way, it's absolutely retarded. What do you expect from woke mobs? And June 2020 kind of coincides with the explosion of protests from the newest saint of the left called George Floyd. What do you expect, the guy? Well, isn't it weird that the saints of the left are all a bit problematic in their past? Especially Greta Thunberg. She went to protest the climate by sailing on a boat made with plastics and a lot of oil. Meanwhile, her crew flew by plane. All these people lack self-awareness, don't they? Details. Anyway, if you like this type of content, stay right here on youtube.com/Jester. Or if you want more spicy content, head to beachute.com/Jester or binds.com/Jester for that spicy and giggity content. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a very good night, and fuck you, YouTube, and Scrabble as well. Anyway.